Hello and welcome to Intuitive Journey with Desiree. I am Desiree Holmes-Shirini, your host. And I've been on a little bit of a hiatus from my show, and I want to welcome any new subscribers and also say thank you for being patient to the people that have subscribed before. I've just had a lot of busy things going on with just helping family and playing a lot of catch up. But I just finished doing a presentation for HypnoBiz 2021 online virtual expo, and I had my camera set up. And I said, this is a good time to go ahead and record an episode for Intuitive Journey with Desiree. And one of the subjects that I have lined up for you, which I will talk about today, and it's along the lines of self awareness, on self coaching, and my life coaching area. And it's about being self aware and how being self aware can help you achieve your goals, help you to go the direction you want to go. A lot of times people find themselves focusing on out there. What do I want? Maybe even making their lists of their desires, their wants, their goals, everything out there. And also, a lot of times people will be putting blame on everything out there as well as to why they don't have what they want, why they're not happy, why they're not reaching their goals, as others being who or what's in the way. So, what I'd like to suggest to you is the concept of being both the subject, the person, and the object, or I should have the other way around, the object, the subject, but you being the observer of yourself. And what does that mean? It means self awareness. It means paying attention to yourself as if you were someone else watching. And sometimes with clients, I might suggest to them to imagine themselves as if they're watching a TV show and they happen to be in the TV show. To separate themselves, because this is a great tool for, say, if you're having a difficult relationship, hard time at work, or hard time with relating to others in particular, to take yourself out of the situation and watch what's happening. And that does two things. It shows you who and what you are and how much you're contributing to maybe the whole uh, episode, the whole interaction. What's your part in it? Because we each have a part. We each have a responsibility for our own behavior, as well as what's the other part. What's the dynamic? Okay, and it also gives you more control. It helps to calm things down when you can kind of step out of yourself and be the observer instead of the actor. And maybe you can see what I'm talking about here. So, in terms of using this technique as a skill in managing your emotions, when you're using it that way, say you're in an argument and you feel your heart rate speeding up and you getting that flush or whatever happens to you when you start to get angry. And for some people, they lose it. Some people, they have a very hard time managing their emotions, and it ends up being a ridiculous, fight or disagreement that could have been calmly dealt with. So when you start experiencing that something like that is coming up, just kind of imagine that you are watching it on TV. Imagine that you're up in the ceiling looking down and watching. Just take yourself out of the situation. You're still interacting and talking, but now you can see how you're doing it. And that gives you a little bit of personal power over realizing what's happening and over saying, well, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to react like that. So it's almost like you're the director of the play and you're watching yourself. It gives you a little space to see what's happening. Now, in terms of this as more of an overall pattern, to recognize overall patterns, you can imagine again that in your life, going through your day, it's like a TV show, sort of like the Truman Show, right? Except for you're Truman watching his own show. What do you see yourself doing? What patterns do you see yourself repeating? What do you see yourself, how do you see yourself contributing to things that go your way or don't go your way? What are you allowing others, or how are you allowing events to distract you or to get in your way of what your goal is? How clear are you on your goal? There's a phrase that is watch yourself, like watch yourself. And actually, this should be a perfect statement from you to yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch out. Watch where you're going. Watch where you're taking yourself. And if you think of it as a benefit of watch yourself, you could even imagine that you, the one who is watching yourself, are sort of like your guardian angel, making sure that you're protected, helping to guide you in a direction that you'd like to go. So, watching yourself, being self aware, and overseeing the direction, seeing what's ahead of you and what's behind you instead of being in it. Now, there's something about mindfulness, but instead of being in a current turmoil or confusion, conflict, or maybe when you really, really want something and you want it too strongly, not strongly, but too strongly, it can blind you to your past or to your future. So, watching yourself and just kind of rising up above the whole terrain of your life, your actions, who you are, where you're going, and where you've been gives you a lot more power. So let's give this an example. Say you had a horrible job, you hated your job, you decide you're going to leave your job and go get a new job. Now, if you are watching yourself, you're not going to take the same sort of job with the same sort of people. Similar to, say, relationships. Horrible relationship, and how many people do we know just go right back into the same kind of relationship because they didn't take time to see the bigger picture and to see, like watching TV, what was that relationship? What happened? Who did what? And how much did the actor, you being the actor, allow or even encourage things that could have been avoided? So imagine this new relationship. If you take the time to watch the old rerun and even review it as a viewer, and you have that awareness, self-awareness, then when you move into a new relationship or a new job and the relationship's there and you watch it, you will know, wait a minute, do I even want to go into this job or this relationship? Is this, am I seeing the same sort of behaviors out of myself too? We all have our own triggers, right? So, there's the blame it on somebody else thing. Someone else may be a trigger to your own behavior. Okay, something may trigger you based on the past that you will respond with a behavior that you don't want to have. But if you watch yourself and have that self-awareness, you recognize what's happening. You're not in it, you're above it, watching it, and you are the director of your own actions. Just like TV, you say, cut, hold it, you're doing that wrong. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's not the way you want to feel, right? Okay, so this character is very self-assured. This character is comfortable in their own skin. This character is happy, right? Okay, roll them, right? So it's almost like that. If you could imagine that you are the director and the actor or actress, and when the scene's not going the direction that you want, that character is not playing out the way that you want your character to be, you can look down, you can stop and say, wait, hold on, roll it back and start over. or just stop it in its tracks. So I just want to put out this idea about watching yourself, about being self-aware, about knowing what you're doing. And when you are self-aware, know what you're doing, then you have so much more personal power over directing yourself to a state of happiness and to feeling, being, and doing what you want, reaching your goals and being clear on what your goals are and why you want them to. So that could be a whole nother episode about being clear on goals and why. The why about goals is always important. But for this episode, I'm going to just stop with the statement to watch yourself. And I mean that in a good way. So thanks for being here on Intuitive Journey with Desiree. And I'll see you next time, hopefully sooner than it has been. Bye.